The Artemis Transat, one of the 3 toughest solo ocean races. It's 3,000 miles across the North Atlantic, on your own, from Plymouth to Boston, and one of the toughest challenges I've ever faced. Well, the atmosphere down here in the race village has been nothing less than superb. We've had a jazz band, a blues band. It's been fantastic. There's been thousands of people walking through the village over the last 4 days, and obviously that's helped to create a real buzz, a real atmosphere in the air, and certainly the weather has helped as well. So right now it's the place to be down here in Plymouth at Sutton Harbour, and we're all looking forward to the start of the race. We've spent the last 6 months preparing Fujifilm for a very hard and enduring race like the Artemis Transat, and having done a lot of training on the boat, I'm very pleased with her performance. We've got everything in the mix to pull off a result, and we're certainly expecting great things. The treacherous Atlantic lay ahead. I knew it would be a challenge, but I had no idea just how tough this race would become. Everyone expected rough sailing, but actually, first of all, we were ploughing through thick fog and light winds.
Well, here we are on board Fuji. It's about 9:30 in the morning of day 3, Tuesday, and we've got a yacht about a mile up on our windward quarter. Looks like Group Partouche, another 40. We're both going neck and neck, taking it to them. Masthead shoots on, big breeze, fast sailing, 13 to 17 knots of boat speed. It's all on. Just what the doctor ordered. It's important we eat a lot of food during the race, get good quality meals, and this little turbo cooker does just the job.
But actually, in a race like this, there's no let up, and soon I had a problem.
Well, just had a Monty with this masthead spinnaker, went to hoist it and it got ripped on the way up, so I've spent the last 45 minutes on the foredeck with some spray glue and some repair tape, just doing a bit of an ad hoc fix. Just getting dark as well, so I couldn't really see what I was doing, but it's got to be done. Anyway, the sail's back up and drawing again, but lost a few minutes, that's for sure. Well, here we are in the middle of the Atlantic, and Fuji and I are holding up pretty good. We're about 6th place at the moment and looking to improve on that over the next few days. The weather's been quite light, and I think the next few days the wind is going to stay light as well, and it's going to be very tactical. So we've got to make sure we make the right decisions as to whereabouts on the racetrack we go. But as things stand right now, we're looking good.
The fleet was slowly losing the wind. Keeping the boat moving now was essential.
Right in front of us there, or coming down our starboard side, is a competitor. I've been chasing them all day. This morning they were a tiny speck on the horizon, and now we've managed to reel them in, and I think they're stuck in a windless zone on our starboard side, because we've sailed straight down the side of them. But we're finally level. I think it's Miranda on 40 degrees, but I'm not sure.
But those light conditions didn't last long as we headed towards the ice gate. The gate's a set of coordinates introduced to keep the fleet away from the iceberg danger zone in the north.
Welcome aboard Fujifilm from the Mid-Atlantic. We're 9 days into this race and it's all to play for, I can tell you that. The whole fleet is glued together so closely that it's anybody's race, even at this stage of the game. All the fleets coming down from the north now on this northwesterly wind, they've all cracked off. We're all starting to do the high single digits, 8.5, 9 knots, and Soldini's out in front.
The conditions were relentless and they took their toll.
Just had to get the code 0 down as the wind's filled in now. It's day 10. We're about 440 miles from the ice gate. The good news though is boat speed is back up to 8 knots. About what it should be. And bad news is I am beyond exhausted. I'm gonna have to try and get my head down now for a few hours or an hour. Just to recoup a bit, you know. Definitely in the danger zone for exhaustion with me. The wind has been clocking round northwest, west, west-southwest, southeast, south, as we've been tacking through, or as the various frontal passages have been coming through every couple of hours. And a minute ago I got caught out with the code 0 up, sailing along at 8 knots. All of a sudden, bang, the whole boat gets tacked. Everything's on its side. Oh, it's taken me 2 hours to sort it out. Soaking wet, not through spray but through sweat. But we keep going. God, I'm exhausted.
And the worst was yet to come.
Well, disaster is the only way to describe it. About half an hour ago, sailing along in about 13 knots of wind into the wind and waves, dropped off a wave and loud bang, and the halyard that attaches the genoa to the top of the mast has ripped off the Harken furler, just pulled the metal right out. So the sail ended up in the sea. I had a bit of a titanic struggle to get the sail back on board, but managed to do it. And now the sail's stowed down below, but we've got a big problem in the fact that we've lost the ability to use our head sail.
It was a serious problem. Normally, to fix it, you go up the mast, but in those rough seas, that wasn't an option.
I managed to tackle the problem we've got with the furler on the genoa. The pin ripped off the top of the furler. I've managed to lash it all up with some English braids, Vectran lashing, and rehoist the sail, and the sail is now in a working order or working state. How long for I don't know, but hopefully it will last us to the finish. But we've rounded the ice gate. We're sailing along in about 30 knots of breeze. Just been told that Apart City, ahead of us by 40 miles, has got structural problems. Miranda's been sent to get him. I think he's going to abandon. We're all on standby just in case they need more boats. Oh, this race is a cruel one. Whoa. I just hope we can hold it together to the finish. Poor Fuji's really taken a pounding, especially beating out to the ice gate. I didn't know a boat could take that much punishment without breaking.
Others weren't so lucky. Apart City's race was over, but the boat held together and Ivan headed for the nearest safe haven. It meant Miranda could keep her focus on racing and our ongoing duel.
At the moment, the sister ship to this boat, 40 Degrees, sailed by Miranda Merrin, the boat that we've been dueling with from the start, she's 50 miles behind, which is a relief for me because we have been neck and neck across the Atlantic for the last 20 days.
For me and Fuji, the finish line was now in sight. Crossing the finish line was such an unbelievable feeling. It was a huge achievement, not just for me, but for the whole team.
Yeah, we'll pull it up with the lazy jacket and tip. To be the first Brit here is marvellous, frankly. It was really tough and it could have gone either way with either myself or Miranda on 40 degrees. We both got identical boats, so Fujifilm and 40 degrees are out of the same moulds, they're identical. So they go about the same sort of speed, and we really have been stuck to each other like glue for the whole of the race. And it was only about 4 days ago that I saw a tactical opportunity and took it, dived south, and she stayed in the north, and it paid off for me.